Season 2 of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship. This time we're going to go through all 30 cars that we had in Season 2. Starting with the Prairie on Los Santos GP. Let's just get this whole thing started, shall we? Because it's been a nightmare just even getting to this point. This video is brought to you by the YouTube area of my website. Check out every single video series I've done, categorized by game type, alongside chronological playlists and extra info at brovie.com/YouTube. Where we go, finally. Although it could be worse, I could be much further back, to be fair. What am I in? 37th off the grid. Starting in the Prairie, which was one of the 3 cars used on LSGP in Season 2. In round, I need to bring up the page.
And what really annoys me is putting them in the fucking supercars class. Really? Really?
Of course. At least they didn't put the Prairie in the supercars class. The Prairie used to be in it. I think the Prairie had a very early class change. It used to be in coupes, I think, before the very first update. But yeah, the Prairie was the GT2 car in round 2. And I'm reliably informed, because I can't remember any of this because it was so long ago now. This was, I raced in GT2 back in Season 2. And this was the only race out of the first 5 rounds that I didn't win. So I was having a great time in Season 2. I ended up not doing the final. I remember not doing the final 2 rounds of the season because I'd already sewn up the championship. Is that a drift Sentinel? Okay, I've seen the shtick. Okay, there's a story behind that. But yeah, I did... I think I did GT1 and GT3 in the final 2 rounds. As a way to like showcase what the races are like in GT1 and GT3. Because I didn't need to do the final 2 rounds in GT2. So I never actually drove this Sultan that was in the GT2 class for round 10. I was in the... Was I in the Penumbra for round 10, I think? I seem to remember. But Season 2 is a long time ago, man. I remember a lot more about Season 1, I think, than I do Season 2. Because Season 1 was the first time we ever did it. So... And there was less rounds to try and remember. This is obviously, we've got Season 2 and Season 3 will be the longest races in terms of car numbers. We've got 10 rounds in Seasons 2 and 3, 3 cars in each round. So 30 cars in total for this race and the next one. And then for the races for Season 4 and Season 5 will have less because we only did 8 rounds. Merriweather Mesa, thank you to Rojan for putting this info in the chat. Round 5, the GT3 car for round 5 in Season 2. I was in the injection for this race. I remember I made a really good overtake for the lead in the injection. I don't remember overtaking many Merriweather Mesas though, but it was on Blaine County 24 hours in the rain, so there probably wasn't much lapping going on. So yeah, we're back again. Obviously, last time out, for one of these random mall races, we did all the cars from Season 1 around the North Loop. Obviously there was only 14 cars to go through. We got a lot more this time with 30. Season 2 was a big difference, a big change. We were obviously on PS4 and Xbox One at that point. It actually only ran on PS4 initially, and then it was done on PC and Xbox subsequently. Zentorno makes a return from Season 1. It was in the rain this time though. Zentorno was used on LSGP, but it was in the rain, I think. Oh no, wait, that was Season 1, wasn't it? Round 9 GT1. Okay, well there you go. I would have driven this then. If I was... I think I did round 9 in GT1 in Season 2. Oh, is he okay? Yeah, he's okay. Finished 3rd in it in Olympic. There you go. See, I can't remember anything about that. Oh, maybe I can. That was a pretty... I had a decent race for finishing 3rd. I think I had a pretty decent race, especially considering it was GT1. Season 3 was where it got really bad, because I tried to do every single race. But Season 2 was like the pinnacle. I won the race in the Primo. That was the North Loop, wasn't it? When I had that crazy battle with Nismo. That was a GT2 car, the Primo. Round 4. I can't believe I won the first 4 of the 4 of the first 5 races in Season 2. It never got better than that, did it? That was like it. That was it. I only focused on one platform. I was only hosting it on one platform. I was like in GT2, which is probably where I should be in general, pace wise. Oh, okay. Yeah, it would never get better than Season 2. So if you want to go back and watch an MCE season where I do well, Season 2's the one. Although it has been nice to see people go back and watch some of Season 1 after last week's video. For those who don't know, MCEC is coming back for Season 6, and in the run-up to it, every week we're going to do a random race with all the cars from each multi-class endurance championship season. Season 2. All the Season 2 cars for this one. The DiNmiTe must be the slowest of all of them. Round 2, GT3. So when I was racing around in the prairie in round 2, the GT3 cars were racing around in the DiNmiTe. And the GT1 car for that round was the Panto, which we will get at some point during this race. There is a little caveat to this race in that everybody has to do a pit stop. Everybody's got to make one pit stop during the race. It can be whichever car they choose, whatever lap they want. Except for the final lap, because you get an advantage if you pit on the final lap. This looks like a lot of mess behind. I think I'm going to make my pit stop now. Just get out of all that nonsense. And it's not as if I'm losing out on much top speed by pitting in the slowest car. Alright, the FQ2 GT2 round 3. I remember winning this race. That was a good battle with Nismo as well back then, I seem to remember. I must have been better back then. No brakes on the FQ2, mind. Now all that nonsense is in front, not your greatest idea. Well, it's not as if it was going to not be in front. I was in the friggin' DiNmiTe. At least it's more in front now. It's been allowed the chance to spread out, so it actually was a good idea. Good old Nismo versus Bruff MCEC fights. Yeah, there were some good rounds. The first couple of rounds of Season 5 were some epic battles. And that was when I really experimented with the high production value for the videos, rather than it just being the footage of the race like it was for Season 1. that was obviously, I guess, kind of perfected for Season 5. It was as good as it's going to get for Season 5. And then Season 6 is going to be only live streamed, but to YouTube and Twitch. So you will have the full VOD on YouTube, time stamped with each race and stuff like that. But I am going to, because it's only going to be live streamed, I am going to be able to focus more on that live experience and make sure it's a good one, basically. And it's an interesting place to go. Dominator, round 1, GT1. Started off the whole thing.
What do you need, Daddy? Is everyone having fun?
I'm having a great time reliving Season 2. What a great season. I'm not going to have a great time when we come to Season 3, but... Season 3, I think each season up to now is going to, like, from this point on, each season is going to give me progressively more PTSD. At least I got my pit stop out of the way. Alright, the Picador. This was definitely a GT3 car. In fact, wasn't it round 1? The GT3 car for the Dominator that we just... Yeah, round 1 GT3. DiNmiTe did a great job with his fancy edit for Season 1. I assume he's going to do the same for each of the other seasons to show when we're getting which car. I wonder which is... I feel like round 1 has the chance to be complete first, since we've got 2 cars from it now. Maybe the Vajero soon. And thanks, this time I'll actually thank him during the race. Thanks to DiNmiTe for organising this for me and doing the work for me so I don't have to bother setting up the race and the class and everything for these random select races. And then actually thank him during the race this time rather than forget about it and do it at the end. Alright, the Vaca, we've had 2 from the supercar round as well. Zentorno and Vaca.
A top-level scumbag displaying the pinnacle of scumbaggery.
GT2 car, the Vaca, was it not? Round 9 GT2. Yeah, so I never actually raced this. It was the round 3 GT2 car. Season 3, round 1 GT2 car, wasn't it? I remember winning a MCEC race in the Vaca, but I can't remember when it was. And I feel like it was around Blaine County 24 Hours, which would be round 1. That might be a future season. I didn't use it in Season 2 because I was busy in the Zentorno instead. Season 4. Okay. We'll reminisce on that one when it comes around, I guess. Comet. This was around the North Loop, I remember that. Yeah, this was a GT3 car, the Comet. It wasn't around the North Loop at all. We did it not... See, this is the problem, right? When we're going back to these old MCEC rounds, I'm remembering the same car used, but in a different round in a different season. And obviously I can remember more about Season 3 than I can Season 2, where I think the Comet was around the North Loop. But this was around LSGP as well.
What a weird race that was, guys. Did you see that? Chaotic spray. What a guy.
Comet was around LSGP for round 8. That was the infamous Massacro Jester round. So we're racing a Comet around where it actually raced during the season. But obviously the full track, not this shorter version that we use for the random races. The Panto. Okay, so it's the compacts. We've completed the compacts round. Panto, Prairie, and DiNmiTe. I guess it doesn't really count so much because we started in the Prairie, but we have completed a round. Round 2. We've had all the cars from there. This was a G... Can you imagine? It's crazy to think, isn't it? The Panto is a GT1 car, but that's the way that the MCEC goes. Every round has a different class, and we have to take the GT1, GT2, and GT3 cars from that class. And back in Season 2, the Panto and the Rhapsody were the 2 quickest that were available in compacts. I did kind of hold out some hope that by the time a season's like when I initially said there's going to be, you know, Season 5 was the final season, that was my actual thought then. And then when they announced Expanded and Enhanced Edition, I was like, okay, well maybe there'll be a Season 6 if there's enough that changes in Expanded and Enhanced. 48 player races, you know, much higher prop counts for, you know, better tracks, or something that would definitely have brought it back is the ability to have cars from different classes. So if there was just an all selection and you can just choose any car from any class, and then we could have done an actual true multi-class championship. We've still done a multi-class race before a few times by using the off-roads class and, you know, certain vehicles that are not actually officially in the off-roads class, but they can be used in off-road races. And obviously the final round of Season 5 as well was a actual multi-class race because we used the multi-class glitch. But yeah, if they'd given us the ability, Rockstar had given us the ability to have actual multiple classes in a single race, MCEC would have come back sooner. But we're still limited to using the same class and choosing GT1, GT2 and GT3 cars from just different speeds. Shafter was round 4 GT1. Then we got the Zion. I assume this was also a GT1 car. This was top of coupes for so long. Is this the first we've had from a coupes round? Round 6 GT1. But you can't use things. I saw some suggestions of like maybe you can use transform checkpoints and stuff like that for a proper multi-class race, but they don't work properly for a circuit race. Doesn't work as you think they might. But we do have a lot of things. There is a reason Season 6 it's coming back for Season 6. There is a lot that we have now that it's different. It's going to be different enough. There are a lot more props. Come on. There's a lot more props as we kind of wanted. We have HSW cars, which is a big change. There are a lot of differences that have made it come back. It's just not the biggest ones that I would have thought would have been the biggest ones, which is higher player count and actual multi-class races. Wow. The Surge, round 4 GT3. The slowest of the sedans round. That Merryweather Mesa, it must have been a challenge. I mean, I've had the DiNmiTe and I've had all the compacts. I've had some of the slower vehicles. I'm hoping that as we're now halfway through the race, I'm hoping that I've had more slow vehicles than fast vehicles. And I'm going to be able to go forward a little bit in this race. Also, maybe people have still got their pit stops to do. The injection. I might not be able to remember much about Season 2. But I do remember the overtake I did for the lead in this injection. On Blaine County 24 Hours. It was in the rain. On the left-hander. The tight left-hander before the right-hander downhill. Just rolled it around. Oh, it was a beautiful, beautiful overtake. Round 5. Was it my last win? Round 5? Or did I win after that? I won 4 out of the 5 first. I won 4 out of the first 5 rounds. But I'm guessing I didn't win a race after that. I just coasted to the end, didn't I? DiNmiTe insert clip of the overtake here, please. That would be nice, but I mean, I'm not going to force him or anything. It was a great pass though, for the lead, and then I think I just drove away from that point on. That was my last GT2 win in that season. I might have won the GT3 race that I participated in, but I don't know. Last GT2 win, but you also won unofficially in your GT3 guest drive. Yeah, I didn't take any points for it, did I? But I still won that race, yeah, okay. Alright, Sentinel XS. Oh. Oh. Rip. Sentinel XS was too powerful. I'm guessing I'm not going to be able to rejoin as well, right? Oh wait, it says 0 out of 48. Did everybody die? Invalid server. What? Only you crashed. That's rare though. That's rare for me to be the only one to crash. It's rare for me to crash at all, to be fair.
God fucking damn it, can nothing work for me today?
Well, I guess, you know, we got to the halfway mark of the Season 2 MCEC race. And then in Season 2, it actually went downhill from there. Won 4 of the first 5 races in that season and then didn't win again. And now I got halfway through the random race for it and then rip. Just like actual Season 2 you left before the end. Okay. We're watching Master's perspective of the race now. The problem with doing this though is that I'm not experiencing all the cars. Commentary practice. Yeah, I'll try to practice my commentary for Season 6 again. 35th out of 52. He's not doing as well as I was before I disconnected. Looks like Moggy is in 5th place, lapping. It's all going to come together towards the end, though.
I chose a Jester, but I'd rather have the Carbonazzi.
Comet Round 8 GT3. Thanks for telling me, Derogen. I think we know that one. All this is telling me is that because we're getting other crashes from other people as well. And are we about to get crash from Master, or is that the? Okay, that's. I don't know whether that's the stream or... Oh no, it's still going. Dilettante Round 2 GT3. Thanks to those other disconnections though that we saw on Master's screen, I've actually been able to rejoin. So I'm going to be able to get back into the race. I'm going to be way down on laps, but at least I'll get all the cars in. Position 52, here we go. Will I be though? Or will I be at least ahead of those others who've... No, yeah, I'm in 52 right now. I was the first one to disconnect, wasn't I? Finish our laps should be on. So, theoretically, I should be able to finish the race, even if, you know, position doesn't make a difference at this point. Position means nothing now. But I should at least still be able to get all of the cars in. So yeah, Sentinel XS.
Get out of the way!
I'm just going to see blue names all around me now, aren't I? It's a bit of a shame because I feel like I was lining up for a decent result, maybe going to be like trying to get on the fringes of a top 10 and had a fairly clean race, and I still had some good cars to go. But hey ho, it is what it is. At least this didn't happen during the 200 lap random all. The bullet of obviously a GT3 car. Again, if anybody has joined the server at this point and you weren't in this race when it started, please leave, and then it will allow other people who have previously disconnected to be able to rejoin, like I just did. I've got 8 minutes to make up on position 51. The Bullet's been in quite a few seasons of MCEC because it's just the natural GT3 car for supercars. I don't think it didn't need to be by the time we got to like season 5, but early on it was like it was the only option really. Great car though. Elegy RH8. GT1 car on the North Loop, right? Round 10. Round 10 GT1, yeah, because we had a I've enjoyed doing that during MCEC rounds, and that was what was basically the entirety of season 5 was all about. Sort of doing little homages to previous rounds. And we had a little test event before MCEC even started. I call it the MCEC Season 0. But it was the Elegy and the Penumbra on the North Loop. And it was before Season 1. And it was essentially just to see if a multi-class endurance style race would work. We also did a race on LSGP with 3 classes, but that didn't work out too well because it was like 5 people per class, given there was only a max of 16 people in a race back on 360. But yeah, the Elegy and the Penumbra for the final round of season 2 was paying homage to that. With the Elegy, yeah, that was what we had for that test event, and then we just had the Sultan in the middle of them. Alright, the Bifter. This was GT1 for the off-roads class, round 5. So we've completed the off-road round 5 race with the Bifter. I've lost track at this point of if we've completed any others, but yeah, the off-road one was the Bifter, the Injection, and the Merryweather Mesa. I've still yet to get this Drift Sentinel. So let me tell you why we have the Drift Sentinel. Oh, 50th! Success! I've gained 2 places! I'm only gaining places from those who've disconnected, to be fair. But yeah, we have a Drift Sentinel because there's the muscle class completed. This was round 1, wasn't it? And I won in the Vajero. I had a great start. I had a really good start. I used the brake hold technique to get off the line, and it launched me up to the lead, I think, straight away, and I never looked back. Oh, 49th, there we go. Have I overtaken everybody who's disconnected now? Am I actually 2 minutes behind a legitimate position? But yeah, we had in season 2, the coupes round was the Zion, the Sentinel XS, and the Sentinel, because there's a story obviously of because Rockstar. The Sentinel and the Sentinel XS are identical. They're programmed exactly the same. completely stock, they perform identically. But the Sentinel XS has a higher engine, a bigger engine upgrade basically. So when you fully upgrade them, the Sentinel XS is suddenly quicker. So the Sentinel XS and the Sentinel, they were fine for that round being, you know, separate. They were differently paced, and obviously then that means we'd have the Sentinel XS and the Sentinel in this race, but the regular Sentinel isn't available in this race because of like Project Homecoming issues with cars sharing the same handling data, which the Sentinel and the Sentinel XS do. So instead of the regular Sentinel, we're going to have the Sentinel Drift version. DiNmiTe just said it's going to be a Sentinel variant. I didn't know what that was. But obviously it's the Drift version, and I've still yet to get it. The Jester, round 8, GT2. The only time a GT2 car has won the race overall in the hands of Nismo. I remember this round because I needed to finish 3rd to win the championship. But we were racing in the Jester. I was just trying to get my 3rd place, but Nismo was doing heroics and beat the 2 Masakro GT1 drivers to take the overall win. God, that was a pace difference from the Jester to the Patriot. Definitely the GT3 car for SUVs. Is this the first in the SUV? Oh no, I had the FQ2, didn't I? Round 3. On Olympic GP, I think the SUVs round. That's why we did that round in Season 5, because that was a good one. Good combination, SUVs on Olympic. Do you think I can catch up to that 1 minute 42 with 7 laps to go? It feels unlikely, especially considering I've got the Drift Sentinel to go. I am catching quite quickly, but considering I've got the Sentinel, it's not going to happen unless they have the Sentinel as well. There it is. So this is taking the place of the regular Sentinel, which was the GT3 car for the Coupes round. I got lucky really that other people crashed. Damn, the race is finished. Karen actually took the win. It's already over. I've still got loads of laps left. Round 6 was the Coupes round. I think it would be, like I said, watching Season 5 is the best way to prepare yourself for Season 6. But it would be fun going back through all the seasons chronologically, starting with Season 1. Because you'll see how the championship and the video coverage and all of it will develops over time. Yeah, Season 2 is really where I started to get into the groove with the video coverage. And I just had a good season. It was a rain. Oh yeah, the Coupes round was in the rain, wasn't it? Sliding does make sense. That's true. Maybe that's why I went for the drift variant. Alright, Schwarzer. GT2 in the Schwarzer. Round 7. I don't remember anything about this round. I was probably just in the mode of needing to get the positions I needed to make sure I solidified the championship, but what was this round? Sports, right? I finished 3rd. But what were the other 2 cars? I distinctly remember. Oh yeah, we did Sports A and Sports B, didn't we? Sports A was the Jester Massacro Comet around LSGP. Rapid GT, Blister Compact and the Schwarzer. I'd have no recollection of that round at all. In fact, I don't even believe it happened. The Huntley S, what a machine. GT1 SUV. And with good reason. I haven't had any of those cars. I've just realised. That's Sports B round. That was the first car I've had from it. I've still got to have the Blister Compact and the Rapid GT. It's late to not get even one car from a round. So yeah, normal Sentinel has a handling clash with the XS, which is why it's not here. I found an adequate replacement, as you can see. It was an adequate replacement, to be fair. And yeah, that's the thing, like, they share the same handling data. They share the same handling file, the Sentinel and the Sentinel XS. The only reason the XS is quicker is because it gets a bigger engine upgrade. But Project Homecoming doesn't like it when 2 different cars share the same handling file, so those cars usually get lost. We're going to see that in the Season 3 race as well. Get off the track! There's always one. There's the Rapid GT. There's now only 3 of us still on the track. I'm amazed there's still even more than just me, considering I was disconnected for so long. So that was the GT1 car for the Sports B race, the Rapid GT. Then I'm going to have the GT3 car for it, the Blister Compact to go. Then I've got 2 others. What else have I got? I'm making up so much time. Massacro race car, of course. The GT1 car that didn't win the race. Round 8. It finished 2nd and 3rd. In the hands of Craig and Mayor Ryan. But Nismo in the Jester was too good. Catalyst offered me 2 options, keep excess drift handling or override it with Sentinel handling. Guess which I decided on. I mean, we all knew either which decision you were going to make in that scenario, DiNmiTe. Alright, Penumbra. All the Sports B cars all came together all at once almost. It's kind of nice. I'm going to get the final lap all to myself. It's a shame I didn't get the chance to actually, you know, random select races, these random wars. It's all about where you finish actually matters because everybody gets the same cars by the end. So, you know, if you do well, then you've actually done well. It's not just based on the cars that you get. I haven't had that this time because of the disconnection, but at least I've been able to get all the cars. At least I've been able to get back in and finish the race. And I'm having a bit of a nice drive on my own at the end. Okay, what's left? I've got one car to go. Wait. Oh yeah, the Blister Compact. So it's most of the sports cars have come all at the end for me. I would have had a good finish to the race. The Blister Compact to end, because of course. Round 7 GT3 car. And yeah, I didn't say about the quicker penumbra, you're right. It's a good question. I feel like the quicker penumbra on Project Homecoming is faster than the penumbra FF. I feel like that's a stat in my head that is a thing, but it might not be, because the penumbra FF's like a bit of a sleeper. It's faster than what you think it is. But that was indeed the quicker penumbra. Quicker Project Homecoming penumbra. Feels lovely to drive. Unlike the Blister Compact, which is still not great. Well, it was a pain in the ass to get this race started, and it's been a pain in the ass to get it finished, but here we are. Finishing position didn't really matter in the end, but we made it, and we got to see all the cars from Season 2 of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship. And the next one's going to be all the cars in Season 3, which will be another 30 of them, before we get into the final 2 seasons where it was 24 cars. So another... And I should remember more about Season 3 because I actually raced in every single car that we're going to be racing in that race. But Season 2 was my peak. That was it. It all went downhill from Season 2. Karen actually took the overall win in this one. And I'm way off the leaderboard. Good to drive them all again, though. That just goes to show how bad my memory is about all these MCEC seasons. That I thought Season 4 and Season 5 were both 8 rounds, but obviously not. So we've got 30. We're going to have 30 cars in Seasons 3 and Season 4, because Season 4 was also 10 rounds. And then it's not until we get to Season 5 that we're going to go down to 24 cars, because that was 8 rounds, which is also what Season 6 is going to be. Huh. Yeah, I can't remember about MCEC anymore. I mean, it was, close to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. So I think it's fair enough that I don't remember. But yeah, old man memory.